All right, we are live tonight. We're going to get started in just a second. I hope the connection is good. It's saying on the computer it may not be, so hopefully you can hear us and everything. Getting it started out here. So
I'm trying to get on here. Yeah, it's not buffering much right now.
Okay.
So maybe it's okay.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing? Good to hear from you. Trying to get it started on my phone here.
Well,
there we go. Okay.
So I hear the coyotes tonight.
Yeah, I walked
over
out
in
here
the
earlier,
distance.
and they're not that far from us.
Yeah, I can hear them yipping over there, like across the woods over there. Yeah, so I like to hear that.
It is pretty cool. It's kind of our daughter-in-law. I don't know if she likes hearing that, does
Yeah,
she?
it kind of, I don't know, scares her or something. She don't like hearing those, and our daughter doesn't either. She's afraid they're going to come get her or something, but they won't.
Or get her dog.
Yeah, they're
take a lot of coyotes.
Yeah, it would. They're pretty far away, you know, and we don't. I don't think they've ever came in the yard except for I think one or two times.
Remember the one that came in during the day?
Yeah,
we were inside.
Like
and me and Kelly, our daughter, were inside, and we heard some gunshots. And she's like, "What is Mama shooting at?" and it was a coyote.
Yeah, it was a coyote. It was trying to.
And then we saw one. I don't know if that's the same one, but it was like moving around on the cameras up here just during the day. We never see them during the day.
And not at night. Now, we did have the one that captured the chicken that time. You know, the coyote that came in.
Was that a coyote or? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah,
that was at night though.
Yeah, that was at night.
That was a setup. They didn't like the rooster, and I think. I think y'all did something.
We did a hit on the rooster.
Yeah, that was sad.
It was.
That was a real sad time. It was. We had a rooster that I don't know if y'all heard about it before, but we had a rooster that was just too mean to be outside. I mean, to be inside. He had anger management problems.
He did have anger management problems.
So we just let him free range, and he lasted for several years. And then
he was
a couple of days. We didn't notice he was gone. I felt bad about that.
Yeah, we did feel bad about that.
And then we were I can't even think of his name.
The rooster that died, Gerald. His name was Gerald.
We were looking for Gerald.
That's because our niece named Gerald. She said, I said, "You want to name him?" She said, "Yeah," and she said his name's Gerald. So he was Gerald.
Yeah.
So yeah, something did get him and
Is your daughter around? I hear her dog barking.
No, she's not around. The dog will just have to bark. Okay. It'll be okay. So. Let's see, what are we talking about tonight?
You told me to be prepared, and you're not even prepared.
Oh, I know.
Some stuff we're going to talk about tonight, unless you've got something better, is like first-time mistakes we made.
Yeah.
As far as the homestead. We're not going to tell you all of our life mistakes. And getting ready for spring in the garden. We've touched on that a little bit, and I'm going to start planting some indoor seeds coming up pretty soon.
And you know what? You know, you keep talking about putting out those raised garden beds.
Yeah.
But this weekend's going to be the perfect time for you to do that.
Why? Oh, that's why you're gone.
Yeah, while I'm gone Saturday.
Yeah,
I'll be gone, and you can do the raised garden beds. Yeah.
All by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tractor will help you.
Yeah, and we might get into life before the homestead, kind of what led us to the journey. So,
yeah.
But yeah. So homesteading mistakes. Boy, we've made some of those.
We've made a lot of those.
You know, I think we said some of this last week. Is your dog going to quit barking? Is something wrong with it?
No, it went out and used the restroom earlier. It is just fine.
Okay. Our animals have problems.
They do have problems.
But
they're spoiled.
Yeah, they are. But like you know, I like talking about homesteading mistakes. One of the mistakes is I wish we would have gotten here sooner.
Yes, we should have started this years and years and years ago instead of waiting until like we did. You know, but that's life lessons. You know, life teaches you a lot of things, and you know, you like I've said before, you look at the older people, and when you're young, you don't think they know anything, and then when you get their age, you know they knew something. So
yeah,
yeah,
they definitely knew something.
Yeah.
And you know, that's
can't tell anybody when they're young. A lot of times they just don't listen.
yeah, they would have taught growing seminars and stuff if
Yeah.
they were to the people now. I mean, they could have led the homesteading conference
Or something.
You know?
Yeah.
So but I think one of the biggest things is we didn't come up here soon enough.
I think that's one of the largest mistakes. And then you think that we should have like added on to the shop and lived in it and built like a cabin instead of buying.
I think we should have
You're
I think we
distracted.
should have lived in the shop and not bought this house.
Yeah, just lived in the shop.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I won't go into the details of that, but I think that's the hugest mistake we made.
Well, is there anything else that we did that you know of?
As far as mistakes,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we made any big, huge ones besides that.
built too big a chicken coop.
No, it's plenty big. That's big enough. It don't need to be. It's just right.
Not for what it's producing.
Well.
Joe, how are you doing tonight? I don't know. Hopefully the weather's calming down for you up there. And
Yeah, it's going to be warm next week here.
oh, I can't wait.
I know. It's going to be in the upper 60s, maybe 70s next
Good.
week. Yeah.
Good.
And-
So it does that every year, then it'll drop off.
Right. It'll go cold
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
But
So
give
I
us a chance to get outside and do some
I
work.
think I see the, you know, we have those daffodils up there. They're poking up out of the ground. They always poke up at the mid-February, and then, you know, they like to come up early. So I like seeing those poking
Well,
up.
the blueberry bush looked like it had some little buds on it?
Does it?
I don't know. It
Well,
shouldn't
I
be
hope-
starting this early.
I don't know. It started early last year. So we'll just have to watch it and make sure it doesn't come a freeze. We have to cover it up with a sheet or something if it comes a freeze.
Joe
So-
said doing pretty good. One more day below freezing, and then we're 40 or above.
According to the weather.
According to the weather, good.
Yeah.
I know you're like us. You're ready to get out of this and get out in the garden and do some stuff. So,
Yeah, that I don't think there's really any huge other mistakes. I mean, I know last year one of the biggest mistakes we made was probably not having a garden, you know, last
Yeah.
year. And we were busy, but, you know, if we could have just had something small, maybe, you know.
well,
I think
I don't know. I wish we would. We could have prioritized a little bit. And
I guess
done
so.
things different because it messed our food supply up.
it did mess the food
So
supply
we're
up.
having to go to the grocery store a lot more, and we really, you know, the purpose of the homesteading thing is to be more self-sufficient.
And we
this
hadn't
last
been.
year we
No.
have not been at all.
No, we haven't at all.
But we're
Joe says he still has ice all over everything almost 2 weeks ago.
wow.
That's a
That's
It's a long time to
It is
be
a long time.
have
to-
ice everywhere.
Yeah, it got up to 50. Did it get up to 50 today?
Yeah, I think it did.
It was kind of cool. It was windy,
Yeah,
but you know, I walked out short sleeve shirt, and
it was.
it was a little too cold for me.
Yeah, but it was around 50, I think, today. But I'm looking forward to the weekend and maybe next week when it warms up.
What's the high today for Saturday?
I don't know. I have to look. But
The only thing, the dirt's still a little wet.
yeah, the dirt is wet. But if maybe you can at least build the
Put 'em
raised garden
together,
beds.
yeah.
Yeah, put them together.
Instead of leveling, I may just put them in the front yard.
No, we're not putting them in the front yard.
That's the real Tina coming out.
High Saturday is 55, but then Monday the high is 70, and then all next week the high is close to 70.
Okay.
So,
well, good.
Yeah. So I am glad that it's warmer because I no longer am having to unfreeze the chicken water.
That has been a pain. I know Joe feels that too.
Yeah.
That has been a pain down, but not, I don't know, has it been every night you've had to unfreeze them?
No, last night and the night before I didn't have to unfreeze them.
Yeah.
But before that it was almost every night. Every night it froze and I would, have to come out, and Saturday and Sunday was terrible. I had to unfreeze it like 3 or 4 times to keep it, for them.
During the summer, we sometimes, during the peak of the heat in the summer, I don't like living in Mississippi as much because
Right.
it's so hot, but it does have its advantages because really the winters are just mild.
I agree.
I mean, compared to what everybody else is. So that is an advantage. It's just the heat thing, but
Trying to see what else.
I'm going to have to get to where I do most of the work early in the morning or late at night.
The other thing project that we've got to get on soon, maybe we can do that not this weekend, but next weekend, is moving that fence.
We do have to, if you're just joining us, we've got the chicken coop, but behind it we're moving a fence so they can alternate days and let them
run some. Yeah.
So if you let 2 packs out in there, would they fight?
They might. The roosters might, but I may do that.
Would they go back into their own cage?
Yeah, sure. I think they will. But I may do that. I'll have to think about it. We'll see. It's according to how big of a space that we have for them to run around in.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of need their own little space.
And
big
space.
Nick's getting old. That's my rooster. Nick, he's getting a little older, and he's not as spry as he used to be. So, if I let him out with Clyde, it might be a disaster because Clyde might attack him.
Yeah, we don't need anything to happen to Nick.
No.
That's your little baby.
Yeah, he is my baby. So, I may do something on the line of letting the Silkies out with one of the smaller groups or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So as we get into springtime, the springtime chores, number 1 is get the garden stuff ready. That's going to be the priority.
Yeah.
And then the other is your fence, I guess, would be it,
Yeah.
right?
So if you can get your raised garden bed up and going, and then move the fence, and then we also need to move. Our daughter-in-law and our son have a few chickens
Move them out?
Yeah, move them to a different spot.
Move our daughter-in-law and stuff out?
Move them out. Move them off the land.
We're just
No, we
joking.
got to move their chickens to a different spot.
Well, if it's their chickens, why don't they move them?
Well, we're going to help them. They were my chickens first. But yeah, we got to help them rearrange them a little bit, I think. And the ducks. I don't know what we're going to do with the ducks because right now the ducks stay in that fenced area where the old coop was at night. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to have to do. We may have to move them down here with the chickens and just put them in the fenced area. Let them out during the day or something. We'll see.
Yeah.
They'll be really confused and something may get them, but we lock them up at night.
We don't want something to get them.
No, they're cute little ducks.
They are. It's been a wet, muddy time. Cold, wet, muddy. They're walking around, all in the mud puddles. They're happy as they could ever be.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're very funny. They just won't go get in the pond, though. They're strange ducks. They think they're chickens. I don't know
why. I guess because they weren't put in there younger.
Maybe so.
But they were put in the pond, and then didn't the dog chase them in the pond one time?
He did. She did. The dog chased them in the pond during the summer, and they went in there, and they came right back out. It was so weird. They kind of liked it, but then they were like, well, I'm getting out. So... It was
They're
funny.
Scared of deep water, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe so. I don't know. But I really do think that they think that they're chickens or something. They were We had a chicken that we raised with the ducks because she was the only chicken that hatched out of her egg. And she was very, very lonely. And we decided to get ducks. And instead of just getting 2 ducks, we got 4 ducks. And we had no idea how messy they would be. But for the longest time, that chicken stayed in there with the ducks and hung out with them. And, you know, she really kind of thought she was a duck. And she wouldn't hang out with the chickens or anything. She just wanted to be in her duck group. So
Yeah.
it was funny to see the chicken hang out with the ducks.
Yeah. They think they're ducks, don't they?
Yeah, they do. She did. She thought she was a duck. But now she's in with Nick. She's fine now. I guess she decided she was no longer a duck. What's the chat saying? So,
I don't know if y'all can hear the dog.
It's distracting you, isn't it? Well,
Sounds like it's in distress. But
she is not in distress. She is being very dramatic. I took her out. She used the bathroom about an hour ago and did all of her business. She's had her supper. She's just mad because we're out here without her, I think.
Yeah.
So, if she would like sit down out here and stay put, it would be okay. But when I let her out at night, sometimes she likes to chase things. The other night she did. She chased something down in the woods.
And looking at the size of her, she's not going to go far.
Well, I know. So,
you know, another project, this is not really a spring project, but
what?
a project I want to do is start on the cabin.
The off-grid cabin?
Just start on it. Yeah, we're looking at building an off-grid cabin back there. Kind of, I've taken the tractor back there a few times and the saw and just kind of getting away and clearing off a little spot for it. So our goal is to have an off-grid cabin back there that we can stay in. And,
yeah. No electricity. Maybe
not even a driveway going to it.
Yeah.
Because
we'll walk or ride the four-wheeler.
You know, I don't really want any family coming to see us.
Yeah.
But they just a four-wheeler path to go to.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Or ride the
side by side
up there. But that's one of the big goals I would like to at least. I don't think we'll start unless we make it really small. We hadn't decided what we're going to make it, but we may do it in stages. But that's a goal too, is to have an off-grid cabin. I think I'm going to kind of start that after the garden, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
when it gets fall time, maybe.
Yeah. So now that we've got a tractor that'll make it up there, we've kind of been clearing off.
Yeah.
And we're not going to clear too much off because we want it to kind of blend in the woods back there and be part of it.
Now, are you going to put it up on, like how high is it going to be?
It's not going to be real high.
Okay. I didn't know how.
I'm going to put it on concrete blocks.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure what your plan was for that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, we're going to have some lifestyle changes in June.
Does your dog need something?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you want me to go check on her?
Yeah.
I'm going to go check on the dog. And you talk about your career change.
The cat, so, while she's gone, we do have a career change coming up. Well, not a career change or career cutback. As, I'm 55 years old, turn 56 later this year. And we're trying to position so we can, I don't know if retire is a word, but we want to kind of get more cut back. I'm
what is your problem?
24/7 and work a lot of hours.
Do you need to go out?
And it's time to cut back. I'm just kind of getting to the age.
Come on, let's go out
I don't know, burn out, lost interest in it. So we're trying to transition there and do more homesteading type stuff and kind of cut back. And for the past several years, we've really cut back expenses. We've tremendously cut back the expenses.
Hurry up.
So we're trying to.
PP, hurry up.
This whole thing's a lifestyle change for us. So we've got, that's coming up at the end of June. I'm going to cut back on that, and luckily it'll be in the same job, but I'll probably only be doing 1 day a week there, and you know, it'll be enough money to still more than support us. So, and you know, kind of as we transition into doing some other things, so you know, that's trying to cut back the stress and get out of the it's a lot more than 9 to 5, but get out of the 9 to 5 type thing. So, you know, that's one thing that we're really doing. And, you know, our goal when we moved up here was to have a much simpler life. So far it hadn't been simple, but I think it's headed that way. And, you know, we're, you know, our goal is to make all that happen this year, and to do that transition, because I think things are going to change anyway in the career field that I'm in. So, you know, it's time to pull back. I'll still do some, but, you know, that's kind of a safety net, but that's coming up, you know. So,
sorry.
I was just saying that our goal when we moved up here was to simplify life anyway.
Yeah, so,
but I don't think we've really simplified as much as we want to, though.
I don't think so either. I don't think we're simple enough. I think that's one thing that I want to do, is just be more simple. And I think when we get the garden going this year, that'll help us be more simple, more dependent on, you know, food that we grow, instead of, you know, going and buying. And you know, one thing I think that we shouldn't be doing is we go out to eat sometimes, and you know, that's not good for you to go out to eat and all of that. So just it's not healthy.
And Joe said he had a career that he could retire after 20 years, and you know, I wish I would have gone that route.
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
You know, we didn't make the best decisions as far as that, but you know, but we are transitioning. And you know, and another thing we've learned is, I don't know how to say this, but like to like in the career thing, quit worrying about what people think on that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and,
you have to quit thinking about that. You know, we make a pretty good amount of money, but you know, it's not about the money. Like, I want to live simple, and the money, you know, if we don't make as much money as we make now, that's fine with me. I want to be simple.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. I still look back, and the happiest we were
when we were poor,
when we made the less in our marriage.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. So when we were young.
So we're not that we're rich. I mean,
we're not rich, but we're comfortable.
Yeah.
So and it's hard to balance like the full-time jobs with the homestead. And now it is a little easier for me during the summertime, because I get off at, you know, I clock in at 7:30, I get off at 4, and I can go outside and do some things in the afternoon, you know, in the long summer days, because it doesn't get dark till almost 8 a lot of times. So I am able to do stuff, but it's just, you know, kind of tiring, you know, if you're just going all day. You know, even though I sit at a computer and work, it is, you know, it makes you tired just to sit there, I guess. I don't know.
I couldn't look at those spreadsheets all day.
Yeah, I guess you know, it's tiring to sit there and just stare at those, but it is relaxing when you can get away from that and go outside and do something, you know, in the garden, or play with the chickens.
And you know, summertime it'll get that way. My thing with mine is, it's just an extremely stressful career, and it's just, honestly, it's made for younger people. And I'm just at that point, you know, the older you get, you really just don't take anything off anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And because you just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it may not be
proper.
I might not be saying that right. But
Yeah,
I
it's not. It's not. You're not saying that properly.
No, I'm not really. I didn't think that through ahead of time, but it's I mean really the work world now is just being an employee. I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want this to sound wrong because I work for an extremely good person.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is not that. The problem is around it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just things are changing, and you can't.
Well, and then a lot of people are not in kind of a upper management like you are, or upper like I am, and when you have to deal with people that are under you, that makes it very stressful. They're calling you, or or like
It's
for me,
it's turned into a babysitting job.
Yeah, yeah. So mine's not so bad, but I am kind of over people, and sometimes it's annoying. I don't mind helping them, but I'm trying to do my own work, and it is a babysitting job sometimes when you're in a management world and you're doing that.
Our daughter-in-law she's a teacher in, is it pre-K?
Yeah.
In pre-K. And I'm not exaggerating. The same issues she has in her class, we have at our work.
Yeah. We won't go into details,
but I don't think people change. I mean, it's just like when they're in preschool, that's how they're going to be.
When they get to
they may
adults.
learn how to spell a little better, but that's about it. It's like they're that way for the rest of their life,
That's
and they
funny.
act that way at work. And so Joe said he bought that land in March 2011 and retired. Wow, you've been retired a good bit then.
Yeah, that's nice.
I really don't want to wait until I'm 70 if I make it that long to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say that I don't to retire from what I'm in now. I think I'll always be because I can't.
Just not work.
I can't not work. Staying still is not really my thing.
Yeah.
And so I'll do something, but it's time to transition.
Yeah, to something different.
Yeah. And and the world's transitioning too.
I mean, we have a friend that retired, and then he went and worked at where did he work, at a shop somewhere?
Chainsaw shop.
Chainsaw shop. And
he was 55 when he retired.
Was he? Yeah, I think so. And he didn't want to just sit at home either, so he went out and found a job and just worked it so he would have something to do.
Wow, you retired at 39.
That's great, Joe. That's awesome.
That is great. Yeah,
so
I'm behind. But that's and that's one reason we moved out here and cut back. We and when we bought this house up here, we purposely didn't spend a lot of money on it. I complain about it, but I mean, we didn't spend a lot. It's honestly, there's a lot of cars out on the road that cost more than what it costs.
Yeah.
And, but we wanted the expenses to be
minimal.
Yeah. We could have done a better job on that, but we didn't. But it's not like what it was.
No, it's not nearly what it was.
Which helps in retirement also.
Yeah.
I think we're programmed that we're supposed to retire in the mid 60s or so, and I'm kind of done with that thought.
Yeah. So we're having a grandchild in August.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that grandchild? Like, what do we want to teach it?
Well, it depends on what it is. I mean, it's like...
I think whether it's a girl or a boy, it still needs to learn the same things. Just saying.
I wanted to teach it how to grow garden.
Yeah.
And teach it... I want that grandchild to have the memories we did from our grandparents.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about that last time, but to walk in the woods.
Sit outside like this by a campfire and look at the stars. Y'all,
to a child, like a walk in the woods is just the biggest thing.
It is. They love that. Like,
Or I did. I don't know. I mean, but I
think
when I went walking with my grandmother, that was just the biggest thing to me.
Yeah, to be walking in the woods. Yeah. So just saying, the stars are bright tonight. I seen the Little Dipper. earlier.
I want to
Although-
be those cool grandparents.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, like sitting out just sitting by the fire, you know, doing a hot dog or a marshmallow on the fire, you know.
You had all those memories of doing that. And
Yeah.
But I would like it to grow up not learning how to do a phone and games
Right.
on a phone, to learn. Of course, this is not my child, that's their child,
Yeah.
but to learn, you know, the real world
Yeah.
and how.
I think so many people are so buried in their phone and social stuff that they don't live in the real world anymore. You know, it's hard for
No,
them
they
to do
don't.
that.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it's, you know, we've talked about this over and over, but, you know, I definitely think there should be limits.
Yeah.
And you know, I really think a young child shouldn't even have a phone, period, but I don't.
Yeah. When they're real young. Yeah.
Like below 18.
Well, so one thing that, you know, you've talked about has been in that tree house.
Yeah,
Like,
can
you
we
wanna-
move closer to the fire?
Are you cold?
Well, you're right by the fire.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was I hogging it?
Yeah, scoot over a little more.
Okay. Make sure I'm not out of the frame. Where did
I
my,
think I'm gonna have to turn it. It's kind of cold over in this area.
well, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were cold and I was hogging the fire. I apologize. But anyway, so what are you talking about building the tree house? Like, where are we going to put that? Is it going to be like in the edge of the woods somewhere, or is it going to be like up there where the swing and stuff is?
Oh no, it's gonna have air conditioning and everything.
No,
up
it
there.
isn't. Now
Yes,
you just talked about
well, I
being
might
simple.
live in it,
Oh, you might live in it.
but
You know, that's one thing when I was growing up that I really wanted was a tree house.
Do you want me to build you a tree house?
You can build the
Your
grand
tree house is the chicken coop.
I know it is, but when I grew up, I didn't have a tree house, and that was one thing that I really did want. I wanted a tree house. I always thought about that when I was young, and you know, I never had one. I just played in the woods and pretended I had a little house in the woods.
Yeah, Joe said it's hard to get the screens out of the kids' hands these days. It certainly is.
Yeah.
It's just, and I think it's becoming a problem because,
It's,
you know,
It's like
this
a-
is my opinion, but I believe that these, in a way,
it dumbs
social
you down.
media has helped, but
It dumbs you down.
the
It makes
short
you.
videos thing,
Yeah,
I believe it does hurt your attention span.
attention span.
And mine's not that good in the first place, but like,
I think, I mean, there's so much out there, but it's just like they're buried in their phone, and it's almost like an addiction in a way.
well, it is an addiction.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
It
a
is.
true addiction. And
It
we're
is.
teaching them young to be addicted to it. That's what I would love for the child to grow up. I mean, they're going to grow up out here, but like, hopefully they'll let us work it in the garden and
Yeah,
stuff. You know?
I think they will. I think
As long
think
as
they
they
will.
don't have to,
Yeah.
they'll be fine with that.
Yeah, we'll trade it right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but yeah,
You know, they laugh about it, but you know, our son, he works on 4-wheelers and he has a bunch of 4-wheelers and stuff. But oh no, our light went
battery
out.
went out.
We're so sorry. Anyway, what happened? It just went
I
out.
guess the batteries are getting low.
Oh, okay. Anyway, our son has a bunch of 4-wheelers, so we laugh and we say, we're blinking on and off. We say that we're gonna drive up and he's gonna like be having the kid in its car seat, sitting on the 4-wheeler rack, you know, while he works on the 4-wheeler, and you know they they tell him that all the time, especially my daughter. She says that she's gonna come home and he's gonna be out there on the 4-wheeler working on it, and the kid's gonna be in a car seat sitting on the rack. So, is it really dark without the light?
It's dark. I'm sorry, but our little battery light, I got to do a better job of being prepared.
Yeah.
My batteries were down.
Well, it's just true. I mean, this is what it
Where's
is.
your little lantern?
Oh, my lantern's over here. You
Let's
think
set
it'll
it
do?
right under the camera.
Okay, maybe that'll work.
The fire's perfect, but I'm still not close enough to it.
Well, it's got different like it'll be brighter or dimmer.
Yeah, this will do this.
That'll help.
Yeah, I do. I think all of society is just, and that's another thing. Like they're on their phone at work, and I know when we were younger, and we were at work, I know we didn't have those phones.
Yeah.
But there's no way the manager would let you be on the phone at work.
Yeah.
If you were getting paid for something.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, there's things that are good about technology and stuff, but it just goes too far.
And I say this, I work in the technology business, but I just think it's gone way too far.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you're in the work world, you have to keep up with it, or you're going to get left behind, and
right.
you can't compete today.
That's true.
I mean,
my whole career is staring at a computer, you know, all day long doing the spreadsheets and stuff. And
until AI takes over your job.
I hope it doesn't, but I mean, we do some AI stuff, but it's not a bunch of stuff. Just
But it will eventually.
Yeah, it writes letters and stuff for us that we have to send out. Is what it does.
Because you can dump a spreadsheet in AI, it could analyze it for you quick.
Yeah, I know.
And it could say, we need to work on this.
I agree.
So,
and AI makes phone calls or it's not a phone call necessarily. It just looks at things and it'll put notes on what we're working on. I don't want to get into depth about what I actually do. I don't know how much I need to say about that, but it does. Yeah. It writes letters and it looks at accounts and puts notes on there for us sometimes. So that's how far it's gotten right now. And that's actually new, where it's writing the letters for us. So I don't know what it may be, next year or the next.
And I'll say what industry I'm in. I'm in the radio industry, and I'm surprised AI hasn't just, it's in some ways behind technology-wise. The technology is as far as the audio has been kept up, has moved forward, but I'm surprised a computer doesn't do it all now.
Right.
And in a lot of places, I think it does, but the big conglomerates. But, I think within a few years, it'll be mostly AI.
Yeah.
And there's AI. I mean, AI can talk just as good, just about.
It can. They have these YouTube channels now, and, sometimes you can't tell that it's an AI, doing everything on it. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. It's like you're listening to a real person and you don't realize it's an AI voice.
And I wish there was a way that we could just unplug and go back to the way, for us it was the 80s.
Yeah, no cell phone.
No cell phone, and just, your internet was magazines and encyclopedias.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mom's listening, but speaking of encyclopedias, I don't think I've told this story on here, but when I had to, now when you do research, you go on, you go online.
You type it all in, it looks it up for you.
Well, back then we had to either go to the library or I was lucky, I had encyclopedias, but I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s. Problem was my encyclopedias were in the 60s before the moon landing. And so I had to pick a topic that went back that far.
Okay, so
I think it was. I think the encyclopedias were put out before Kennedy's assassination.
I can top you one. So our encyclopedias, we used to have these. I don't know what they were. They were stamps or something.
Green stamps.
They were green stamps.
Ever heard of? I don't know if that was just a Southern thing or what.
Yeah, it was a green stamp. So you could get the green stamps. You went to the grocery store, you got your green stamp, and you could get something. So what we got was encyclopedias. But I guess my mama...
Y'all didn't go every day, I guess, and
I
get
guess
all the
we didn't
letters.
So we didn't have all the letters. We had like A through M maybe, or A through L or something of the encyclopedias. So if I had to do a project, I had to pick a letter.
So she
or
must
something.
have she'd give you a list, and you're like, okay, I don't have that letter. Don't have
That's
that letter.
right.
Okay,
I did.
I do have, or I'll do this one.
And like nobody understands that nowadays. These kids that grow up, they have all this technology. You just put it in the computer. We didn't do that. You went to the library and you looked up
We
these
did go to the library.
references, and you had to have this book and that book. And if you're writing a paper, even when I was in high school writing papers, you had to have this encyclopedia for a reference, this book for a reference.
Yeah, you had to list a certain amount out. Now, do they have to do that?
No, they have to use. They use whatever source they found it on the computer.
Like ChatGPT?
Yeah, like
But ChatGPT is not a source; it gets it from everywhere else.
Well, I know. No, they have to go.
I guess it lists out the source.
Yeah, I guess so. So that's what they have to do nowadays.
Yeah.
And
I had something else that was really neat: childcraft. Have you ever heard of that? Y'all ever heard of childcraft books? They were like encyclopedias for kids. And
no, I wasn't. I wasn't privileged. I didn't have that.
Well, I wasn't privileged, but my mom somehow bought them, and they were the cool. I've got them now in there, and they were the coolest thing. I mean, it was like how things work, and it was just.
That is neat.
I've always been kind of a nerd, and like to know how things work. And stuff like that, and I mean, like how things grow, and just it was really cool.
Yeah, well.
But
no, I didn't have those.
That's what we did instead of thumbing through the phones.
I did not have those. So I had to use my half of the encyclopedia and then whatever I could do in the library at school. Do they have library at school anymore? You have to think about that. I hope they do, because
the colleges do. I'm sure
I mean, I hope that elementaries and schools do.
Because there's still a lot of people that like to read books.
I do.
That actually like reading books.
Yeah, I do. I like to read books. And, some people that I know, they don't like. I read off.
Joe said his grandmother collected green stamps. Okay,
so
we're not the only
good.
ones.
We're not the only ones.
That was the coolest thing.
Yeah. So, some people that I know don't even like reading a book on a Kindle, which... I have my Kindle app.
You didn't used to, did you?
I didn't used to, and then I think I got a Kindle, like you bought me a regular Kindle, and I started reading on it, and I love it. So now I just have my Kindle app, and I read on it, and I really,
Yeah, they are. They do. You're right. They do, Joe. They do have libraries because they're always fighting around what books are appropriate and stuff.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's right.
Because that's come up in Florida a lot.
But how long will that last?
I think it'll last a long time.
I hope so.
But I wonder, is it going to be a trend that I think in some ways people are going to be burnt out on some stuff, like
well, I know they don't
the TikTok type stuff where this. I don't want to offend anybody, but my daughter watches the goofy dance and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, where it's just
it's just silly,
dumb things, constantly, and she's a very smart person, so I don't understand, but. I guess it's her wind down thing, but I think people are going to get burnt out on that. But she still likes to read a regular book, though.
Yes, she does like to read a regular book.
So she don't watch it all the time. I think that's just her turn her mind, and that's
turns her mind off, and helps her wind down.
But I think,
and she's actually one of the people that don't like to read like a screen on a book, like a Kindle.
Yeah, she'll order used books and stuff.
Yeah, she orders books. She has to have a physical book. Now, when I was growing up, that's all I did was read. We didn't have cable TV, and we read a lot when we were growing up. And
what was that noise?
I don't hear anything except the fire. Are you hearing things?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but is it saying something on here?
Is it beeping?
No, you didn't hear that?
No, I think you're hearing things.
Maybe so. Okay, keep on.
Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, about the books. Yeah, physical book. I like physical books, and my daughter likes the physical books. We actually go to a book club on once a month.
So do they use real books?
Yes, a lot of them do. Yeah, and some of them, like I read on my Kindle, but they do read actual books, and they do like book swaps and stuff.
Okay.
So, you know, there are people that do like books, but I am wondering, you know, some things have changed at the library. Like, remember when you had to go in there and you did was it the Dewey Decimal System or whatever?
Yeah, the card system.
Yeah, where you
The
had
last time I went, and I'm like, where's the cards?
and they don't have them
And
anymore.
it's like this computer, and I was like, because you remember you pull them out in the drawer and you look through them.
You'd look
I'm
through
like,
them to
where are the
find where a
cards?
book was.
And it was like a computer or something.
Yeah.
But and that was a while back, but
I know that changed. So
yeah, and I'm trying to think when I went in there. It's been 10, 15 years since I've been in
I'm gonna have to scoot back.
the library, but yeah, but I think, and you know, we've had this the homesteading thing has been coming back, because for a long time, you know, I mean, for several years before, I don't know, probably 15 years ago, there wasn't a lot of talk about homesteading and living simple. And now it seems like it's transitioning back.
You know what? I think you're
not
right.
with everybody, but like it's a lot of people. It seems like it is.
Yeah.
So
Joe says he wants one of those old card catalogs to keep his seeds in. That would be perfect for that.
that would be perfect. You know, yes, that whole rack of card catalogs. That'd be perfect. But yeah, I remember going to those, and but I thought the library was a cool place when we went.
Yeah, but yeah, I know they don't have the Dewey Decimal System thing anymore. So, yeah, that's all technology now. So that did change. But I do wonder, you know, will it change? You know,
I think in some ways things are kind of. I don't think it'll ever trend all the way back, but I think in some ways it's, you know, like the homesteading stuff is becoming more popular, because I think people are getting more interested in where their food comes from. I know Joe's been growing stuff for a long time, and you know, we've been doing it for a few years, but there's some people that's really getting interested in it and wanting to get chickens. There are so many people I hear that are getting chickens for the first time.
Yeah, and
to get fresh eggs.
Right, and you know, I hear the coyotes. You hear them? I wish y'all could hear that. They are going, like, they're really...
Like they're headed this way.
Yeah, they sound really close. Okay, sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Wish we had a mic we could aim that way, but... Did you chill bump?
It does.
They turned around, I think, and went the other way.
My goodness. It's amazing what you hear outside at night.
Yeah.
Especially like in the summertime, it's nothing but crickets and, you know, bug noises, you know, during the summer.
My problem is I hear crickets in my ears all the time.
You already hear crickets?
Yeah, medically induced crickets somehow. My ears are just...
They ring or something?
Yeah, they just have built-in crickets now. I'm serious.
You don't have to listen to them, they're built in.
You have good hearing still, but for some reason I don't.
I know why.
Why?
Because we grew up in the 80s and you listened to all that rock music really, really loud.
I did. I listened to Def Leppard wide open.
Yeah, all that stuff. That wasn't good for your hearing. So it's coming back to bite you. Yeah.
I know. And people used to say, you're going to lose your hearing.
And
sure
you didn't
enough,
believe them.
I did. Mama said, my mother doesn't know how to use the chat, but hey, I'm glad she found us on YouTube, but she said it's not good for old people.
Oh.
What were we talking about? That's not good.
I don't know. I don't know what she was talking about.
Mom, clarify that.
Yeah. What's not good for old people?
So, I don't know. I'm not sure what. I don't know if I missed something or not.
Maybe so. That's funny. Yeah, they're going off that way now. They're going that way.
All right. What did Joe say in the chat there?
Oh, that's what he said. A while back, my nephew asked me why so many people over 40 got into gardening. And I told him we got tired of things, so we decided to try to leave society as much as possible. Yeah,
absolutely, and that is our goal to, and like we had a pretty drastic life change in the last like 6 years. We joined a smaller church, a much smaller little country church up here.
Yeah.
We've downsized in everything. We downsized in the house, and we want to, as much as possible, we unplug from the system.
Yeah,
where you're dependent on everybody and everything.
Yeah, and then our daughter's grown pretty much now. Now, I don't think our children, I think they're always going to live here on the land with us.
Do you really?
Yeah, but maybe not our daughter, but I believe our son and our daughter-in-law is always going to be right here on the land, which, I like that. I grew up that way. I grew up with my grandparents right next door.
I didn't grow up that way.
Yeah, I know you did. But I did. I grew up with my grandparents right next door, and it was, like you said, one of the favorite memories growing up. And
well, now my favorite memory was going to Grandma's house, not walking down the path to Grandmama's house.
Well,
it's
just
it's the empty nest thing, and like the nest is still on that branch of the tree.
The bird hadn't flew off the branch.
Right.
It's on the end of the branch.
On our branch.
Just not like in the nest. It's on the branch.
I'm just joking, sort of. And
your mama said having to create an account for everything. For old people, it's hard.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everything is just an insane pain to do now.
Well, my job, I can't tell you how many passwords I have to have. I mean, I have a whole spreadsheet of passwords that I have to have for these different websites and stuff.
The passwords back in our day was like...
Yeah, like knocking on a door.
Knocking on the club door. Literally the clubhouse door. And it was like, all right, what's the password? Knock, 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 knock. No, it's too short, knocks first. That was the password back then. That was the only password that you ever had to have. I don't remember ever having a password when I was young.
For anything.
No,
but now you got to have passwords for everything.
Except to get into the clubhouse down the road. And I don't mean a country clubhouse. I meant like a bunch of sticks.
Yeah, like the kids had.
Yeah, but a bunch of pine trees like bent over and stuff. But yeah, it's like, I really want to unplug as much as possible and be detached from the system as much as you can these days. And that's why we're trying to grow a garden.
Yeah.
I don't want to be dependent on Walmart.
Yeah.
But like my mom was saying, it's just like this, I was helping somebody with an IT issue yesterday or the day before, and then a major company, we're making it easier, you have to have this app. Well, then you got to have the password.
For the app.
You got to have the login. It's just, and it's insanely a pain to do everything now.
Yeah.
And, back when we were growing up in the 80s, I mean, you just hand them cash, they give you whatever, you go on.
That's right.
It wasn't, it was just so simple. And I want to get that to a more simpler way. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a friend of ours, he's an older guy, he's in his, Mr. Jimmy, is he in his 80s?
Yeah, I think he's in his 80s.
Okay. He has a simple life, and I love his life.
He does have a simple life.
He is a
woodworker.
An insanely good woodworker. I mean, he does some beautiful woodworking, and the extent of his technology is he's got a flip phone. Yeah. And every once in a while have a problem, I reboot it, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's the only technology he has.
Yeah.
He doesn't worry about losing a password.
No,
he doesn't.
he doesn't.
He doesn't
He
worry
does
about
his-
like if he can't get on this website or that website or whatever app. He's just, and I want as much of that life as possible.
Yeah.
It's a little harder for us because
Well, one problem is we work, so
Yeah.
we have to have technology about that. But
and he has his own wood shop, but he I mean,
he just does small jobs and makes beautiful woodwork makes
But
things.
he has such a simple life.
He does.
And it's just and a lot of the older people at our church, they
have simple stuff, simple lives.
and I want to get back to more of that because it's things are complicated. The younger people are trying to make it more complicated just to show you they can.
Yeah.
And like the software now, they just move buttons around.
And you have an app for everything. Like, hey, get this app.
But what if somebody, like, where was it we were, oh, well, look at your app. Well, what if you don't have a phone? Like that you go to eat somewhere, oh, bring it up on your app. Well, what if I don't have a phone? Can I not eat there?
Right.
I mean,
Now, we went on vacation to Universal, and
she did, I did.
yeah, he didn't. Me and my daughter.
I could
my
not
daughter-
afford to go, but she could.
Yeah, so we went on. Not that we go on vacation very often.
We
I mean,
actually rarely do.
yeah, if we do, it's every other year or something.
Not even that. No,
Yeah.
every 5 years.
Yeah, or something. But talking about apps, now Universal has an app, and the new park that they have called Epic, a lot of the restaurants you have to pay with your phone. Like you set it up on there to pay with your phone and use the Epic app on there. Now, not all of them, but a lot of the places there, like to eat and stuff, they want you to use your app on your phone to pay for your food.
It takes longer to do that than to just hand them
I know.
whatever, 20 bucks. Well, there it's a lot more than 20
Well,
bucks, but
some of the places you just go sit down at a table and you order whatever and you put what table you're at, and then you pay from your table, and then they bring your food. So it's not even like they have a place to go pay.
hey, did they have any of the little robots bringing you the food?
No, it wasn't that far gone.
Somebody I was talking to said, the little thing
Yeah.
with the trays.
And I don't know. I haven't never been anywhere where I've seen that, but I've heard about
I
it.
haven't either.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, you travel more than I do now, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's like you're in the drive-through and the person in front of you, they're going to pay with their phone, and of course, they're swiping it.
it don't work.
And I'm like, look, I'll pay for it. Let's just go, but it never works. I haven't done the pay with the phone thing. And that's like also our kids, when they get a check, they do
They scan it.
I mean, I hate to say how far back we are now because I do work in the IT world, but they scan it on their phone, deposit, and go about the business. Well, we drive 30 miles into town to
put a check in the
bank. So, but they're like, why don't y'all do that?
And I'm like, I don't know how. I'm
We're
kinda
not
leery.
that dumb. We could do it.
We probably could.
But it's just easier to go do it at the bank.
Yeah, I think so too. It's kind of, I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know. What if
And
it gets
speaking
messed
of
up?
banks, well, it could get messed up with you taking it down there anyway.
I
but,
guess, but
speaking of banks, there's a bank I know in one of the little towns that it says, teller on duty, but there's like no building there. It's just like the
it's like a virtual person.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
Have
can't
you
say
ever
any-
been through one
No,
of
I
those?
haven't. And I can't say anything. I'm virtual too, because I work from home. But I didn't know they had virtual like tellers where
Yeah.
they were. Just, I guess
Kyle
they just
said
on a
there
camera
a
or
lot of them
something.
are like that. I guess they're all like that in our town.
Oh goodness.
I don't think you drive up and see the person through the window.
Well, I know you don't drive up
Mom
and see the
does-
person,
goes
but
to the
there's
bank,
an
but-
actual person there, at our main bank, that'll talk to you. But I know I have seen that, but I guess I didn't realize that it was like a person, you know, in another
I
city.
want to go back to the 80s.
You said that.
I really do. Just let's go back to the 80s. Let's put our cassettes in Bon Jovi and let's just enjoy life.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know I said it. That's because I really want to go back.
Well, you can't go back. Unfortunately, nothing you can do.
Remember that Eddie Money song, I Want to Go Back?
Yeah, I want to go back.
Sing it for us.
No, I ain't singing.
You sing in the choir. Sing
Yeah,
that Eddie
well, I
Money
ain't
song.
singing on here.
Wow.
I'd embarrass you. Oh, going back to like passwords. Do you know what my password was with my grandpa? I had a password
To
with
get in the clubhouse?
Yeah, to get in the clubhouse, to let him know that I was headed here. He would hoot like an owl.
Oh, Lord, you're going to embarrass me. I'd rather
No,
you sing.
I'm not going to hoot like an owl.
I'd rather
But I
you-
can.
I'd rather you sing.
I can sound just like an owl. So if I was coming down the path, I would hoot, you know, like an owl, and then he would hoot back. And that was our password to each other.
You wasn't scared that an owl intercepts your code?
I don't know. You know, I do that. I still do that if I hear an owl.
She literally can call up an owl.
Yeah, I can. So if I hear an owl, I do that. I'll like hoot like an owl, and it'll hoot back. But that was our password growing up. My password to my grandfather was hooting like an owl. So.
But did we ever? I mean, besides that, the word password was different than.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever having to have a password for anything, did we?
I don't think we did. I don't remember having to have a password in school or anything else. You had a locker. You know, you had your.
You had maybe a combination key, but like
an actual password. No, I
I don't remember
that.
ever having a password. Joe, did you ever have a password when you were younger? I mean, for anything?
I don't remember that.
Mom was way in
Now-
the black and white days, so they probably didn't have the word password then.
Probably not. I'm drinking tea, if you're wondering.
But yeah, it was so simple back then.
It was.
You didn't have to have a password, pay a bill. You just paid the bill.
No,
They were happy
exactly.
to get the money.
That's right.
And you just went paid the bill with the cat. You drove down there, paid the bill, or you put the check in the envelope and send it.
That's right.
And hey, it would actually get there.
It did get there.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when you mailed a letter or you mailed anything, it actually got
there.
It got to where it was supposed to go.
And I don't know if y'all have the problem we have. There's a city close to us that everything
Joe
filters
said
through.
he don't remember having any passwords for anything.
It was just so simple. I mean, and I'm not convinced that like computers.
Right now,
And
cold.
again, I work with computers. I mean,
You said that.
obviously they've made. Well, I'm getting to something.
Okay.
You can critique me after the stream.
Okay.
Now I forgot. But anyway, I
I'm
work
sorry.
with
You're
computers.
getting old. You're forgetting what you're
But
saying.
I'm still putting them down. But like I am not convinced we're in a better place because of computers nowadays.
I know.
Like at my work, a lot of it's automated. You know, on the radio, everything you hear is mostly automated. Well, we spend probably 10 to 20 times more having it automated than we would if we just had a person doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Like
I mean, we spend so much money
to
because
make
all
it automated.
Every software costs money and all this, and you know, now that they've got everybody dependent on it and everything, I just think that I don't know that computers have really helped us as much as they could.
Right.
I mean, and I use a ton of computers
like,
here.
You know, back in the day, you know, you've been in radio for years, but back in the day, you had these 8-track cart-looking things.
Yeah,
and
they were called carts.
They were carts, and all the music was on the carts, and you know, you had somebody physically there changing out those carts to play on the air, and those carts, the ones that were there, because we met, like I said, when I was 15, so I know. They were old, and I guarantee you those carts were not nearly as expensive as the equipment that we
No,
have
they weren't.
nowadays.
And we had all those carts up until the fire.
Yeah.
When we had the fire, but no, I mean, you were paying somebody, you know, I mean, it wasn't high wage, and I mean, unless it was the prime time, but there's no way that it's cheaper now with computer. I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is
how much
either.
it costs, and
Yeah.
you know, the computer systems are.
You pay the person, and you have those carts, which had probably been around for years anyway to begin with, and you.
Well, I mean, they bought new ones, but
Yeah.
You know, it's,
You use the old ones too.
Yeah.
And I mean, how much do you think one of those carts cost back then?
They were like $4 or something
See,
back then.
that's just crazy to think.
Instead of like $150,000 system to run the whole plant. you
Yeah.
know. And I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it's just, I'm not convinced that every job is run better by a computer.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm trying to think of another one.
Well, you know, I think when the pandemic came, it did a lot of bad things about that. You know,
Everybody, and no offense to you, but everybody went working from home.
Yeah.
And some of us have to maintain that stuff for y'all to work from home.
I agree. Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
I mean, what do you think about the working from home thing?
Well, you know.
Of course, I know you'll be biased, but.
Well, I can say that I'm blessed. I'm more blessed than I've ever been to be able to work from home. But it's just a different, things that I miss, a different environment entirely. And you're so isolated sometimes, you hear these stories about people working in an office, or you see a TV show where there's these little cubicle things that everybody works in the office, like the Drew Carey show. Remember that show? Mm-hmm. They had those little cubicle things. So that's how we were. Yeah.
We have somebody that looks just like Mimi, not with the makeup, but she acts just like Mimi.
Oh, really? At
yes.
your work? Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
talks just like
so
Mimi.
we had the
well,
cubicle
worse,
things,
but.
and you had somebody there that you could talk to, and physically, when you have a new employee and you're training, you physically did that, and now you do it all on a camera and all remote. And you don't have, that just socializing with people, and, the birthdays or Christmas or whatever. So a lot of that, I do miss that.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, I think for older people, it's fine working from home. But if you're a career type person, I don't see how you can move ahead in your career, because part of, when you're working with a group of people
Mm-hmm.
in a whatever company, to grow in that company, a lot of times
you're going
to want to do something that's not your job.
Right.
So you're going to want to learn about, you might be walking around visiting and kind of learn what they're doing
other
or
jobs
whatever.
are. Yeah.
You're just another number. Now, for older people that are not really worried about advancing in a career, that's fine. But if you want to advance in your career, how do you get ahead in the company?
Yeah,
I think it would be harder, because all the people see is just the results on your particular job.
Right.
You can't talk to them and
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It is, like I said, I am blessed to be able to work from home, and but I do regret, not being able to, and it's just not there anymore. Like, I don't even have that option to go into an office and work with a bunch of people. It's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
All of us work from home. That, now if I lived down, well, I'll just say the company's based out of New Orleans, there are a couple of people that actually get to go to the office and want to go to the office to work and not
really?
work from home. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of people that work, in the actual office down there, but I, being here, don't have that opportunity you know.
I mean, I see advantages for the, you know, the person that works from home for that, but I don't, I just think it's harder to, like, I'm going to just bring this up. Like, you know, I've read a lot on Steve Jobs and Apple.
Yeah.
I don't think a company like Apple, when they were engineering the iPod and then later the iPhone, I don't think they could have done it remotely, where one person's in their house doing this and one person did that. They got to get, they were
That's
as a group.
right. That's right.
And, you know, I don't know all the inner workings, but
to create something.
To create something like that in a very competitive niche, I don't see how you could run a super competitive business when everybody, like, it's just something about being together that would, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the part of my life, I don't want to do that togetherness anymore, but
a lot of people
when you're,
would.
you know what I'm saying? If you, like, when you're inventing that, or, you know, some of those big things, I mean, it seems like you would have to have people together.
Right.
And I know some companies are making them come into work now, but
yeah. A lot of them, like me, like mine, it's just not physically possible anymore to go.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, but yours is not what I would say a competitive field where you're
it's
trying
not.
to engineer something to beat the competition.
No, we're not.
You know, but like when you're in a competitive field, I think it's better. It's just so much you can do on a Zoom call.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's just.
It is. It's just so much you can do.
You know, that's all fine, and it's good that technology is there. And, you know, I was on a call just before the live stream started, and it's, for what that is, that's great, because I think without that technology, I wouldn't be able to do that. But, like, I think in some cases,
like a job,
you just got to be
together. You got to be together to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree.
And hopefully there are still companies like that.
I hope there are, you know, I hate that, you know, in some ways it's just the working at home thing has just messed things up completely, you know, people's lives, you know. And, you know, like I said, it's just the good parts and the bad parts of, you know, I just wake up, and on the days that I don't have Zoom or I don't have to have a meeting on the camera, I just get up and clock in and sit down in, you know, my pajama pants.
How far is the technology going to go, you think?
I don't know.
And that's where another reason we like to grow our own food, you know, with the technology.
Of what they're doing to the food.
Of what they're doing to the food. And they've got to be constantly engineering, you know, growing food, and, you know, that we don't even know. And I've learned so much lately, and we've talked about this, of the foods that come from outside of our country. Yeah. And I think most foods do. And
well, you know, we talked about that fish I bought that was from China, tilapia. Yeah. You know, since you've said that and mentioned that, I have been looking at the labels to see where stuff is from, you know, and the meats and stuff. And, you know, some stuff is just far out there. Like, especially in a lot of the stuff, like the frozen stuff, I don't think hardly any of it's from, you know, America. It's all from overseas and stuff.
But, like, what I'm wondering is, especially China,
what do they do to our food?
What are they, you know, the technology of them engineering whatever. That's like they make, you know, at one of the restaurants we used to eat, it was, what is it called? It's the crab meat, but it's not virtual crab meat.
It's a... yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like fake crab meat.
Yeah, it's fake crab meat.
But it's called, I don't know what the other word for fake is, but it's like, I'm thinking, okay, well then what is in it? Right.
If it's not real crab meat, what is it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it imitation?
Imitation crab meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it? If it's imitation meat or any kind of meat.
How are they imitating it?
Yeah. What do they use to imitate for it to, you know, taste like crab meat? Like what did they do to it?
And then what else are they imitating?
Right.
And, you know, I really think a big problem with health in our country is, I mean, we've talked about this before, and that's another reason to unplug from the food system is as much as possible is they are putting so many preservatives that are not good for you.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, is that causing a lot of the diseases around?
Right.
I mean, I know it's not causing everything, but like, it's, you know, are we seeing some diseases that we never saw before?
Because of the,
You know, like-
what they do to the food. Yeah.
You know, like cancers are, you know, there's a lot of people that I know that have had cancer, different types of cancer.
Yeah. Does that come from the food? Like,
The food and the plastics and stuff like that. And,
you know, a lot of the soft drink bottles are recycled. You know, that's recycled plastic that they use. You know, and you have to think about that. You know, that's kind of concerning sometimes.
but the soft drinks aren't helpful.
No,
I mean,
they're not
soft drinks
healthy.
are very bad anyway.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, people have cancer and they get sick nowadays. You know, is that part of it? Is that plastic really contaminated? You know, they reuse it, and you know, people are big on recycling. And you know, I'm sure we need to recycle, but you know, I just worry. You know, that worries me sometimes.
Well, why not? You know, if we're going to for the bottles, just do like we used to, and they just wash the bottles. Wouldn't it be cheaper to wash the bottles than to make a whole new plastic bottle?
I don't know. When we used to like have Coke bottles that were glass, and you know, you actually took them back to the store to recycle them.
Yeah.
What did they do with those glass? Did they wash them, or did they like break them down and redo
No,
the
they
glass?
washed them.
Okay.
So how can it be cheaper to like, all right, you throw the plastic bottle in the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Okay. The recycle truck picks it up, takes it somewhere else, then takes it somewhere else, and then and goes through all that instead of just taking a simple bottle back to the, you know, and the milk bottles used to be recyclable. And
So,
Mom said something.
So Joe put a copy on here. Here's a copy paste about imitation crab meat. So imitation crab meat is made from surimi, which is deboned fish minced into a paste with other ingredients. It's an affordable alternative, but highly processed and low in certain nutrients. Rather just have the actual crab, right?
Right, but like at the buffet at the Western Sizzling over here, it's got imitation crab meat.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's.
Well,
Mom said the ingredients in food are just bad. They
are.
And
they're terrible.
And that's the purpose for people homesteading. You know, somebody said, well, what is homesteading? And that's one of the things, is to try to grow your own food, because I don't care what if you don't have the means to grow your own food and you buy fruit and stuff from the grocery store, you are much better than buying the junk food. I'm not saying that. But if you could at all buy it, or if you could all grow it, it's way
much better.
Or go to a farmer's, you know, there's tons of farmer's market that grows it the real way.
Yeah, especially in the summer.
But yeah, it's the food system, and I really believe that it's worse in America than anywhere.
You know that tomato? It's still.
Well, how's your tomato doing?
That tomato that we bought from the store, it's still looking like a tomato. Like it hadn't done anything. It's just there.
We got a tomato.
And I showed it.
Actually, we bought it for a thumbnail. We didn't buy it to eat. So we took a picture of the tomato, and that has been.
It's been more than a month.
More than a month, and the tomato has not changed a bit.
No, it's still just.
It's sitting on the table inside, so we're going to see how long it lasts.
I am. I'll see how long. Now, the cucumbers that you bought for the same thumbnail, they're getting a little wrinkly, but the tomato, it's just still.
Yeah.
Still looks like a real tomato. It's not rotten or nothing.
So I know it's a certain breed to, and isn't it a thicker skin on the?
Maybe it is. Now, speaking of that, I don't like skin on my tomatoes. I have to peel my tomatoes. They taste so much better without the skin on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those skins maybe are thicker on those tomatoes.
I think, and I don't know if somebody said or whatever. I know they're bred for that.
Yeah.
And it's a certain type of tomato that's bred to last long, and they're bred to look good, but
What's your mom saying? Like we said,
y'all, I'm sorry you can't see her comments in the. I can't. She hadn't got the chat thing down yet.
Look at the contents label more than they're.
Oh, how did you see
They're
it?
not good. She's texting both of us.
Oh.
We're on the group chat, Scott.
Yeah, if you look at the contents of what all is in our food, and I'm telling you, I've said this before too, people that have gone overseas, they can eat at like a McDonald's or a fast food restaurant. They don't feel bloated and all that, but you go over here, you eat all this fake meat, you know, and it's, and like we bought some meat from one of the local stores here.
And it tastes so much better.
It tastes like real hamburger meat.
Yeah.
Instead of the
fake stuff.
The fake Walmart Chinese meat. And am I not supposed to say that?
No, but that's okay. We'll forgive you.
Well, I just hope YouTube forgives me.
Yeah, well, it'll be okay.
But and what else was it that I was thinking about? The train left again, didn't it?
Yeah, your train's gone. Sometimes when you get old, you know, you get forgetful. And I think your train
I'm past the
gone a lot.
Yeah, the train leaves a lot.
It's because we have
about the food stuff.
We have so much stored up in our head.
People that eat overseas, like is it Japan? I think it's Japan or somewhere. The foods are just. Or Thailand, I don't remember, but they the foods are not like what they are here, you know.
Right.
I think
now do you know you hear a lot of things about Japan. Japan is one of the cleanest countries there are. Like they teach their kids from day one to clean. You know, when they're in elementary school, they clean and stuff. So, but the other thing about Japan is, did you know that they have a whole bunch of like different machines that you can buy everything out of? Like you can just go buy whatever, a pair of tennis shoes out of a machine. Like I don't know if you knew that, but you can. They have.
You couldn't put that in our neighborhood. It gets stolen.
No, it gets stolen.
Not in the neighborhood, not here, but I'm talking about the city close to us.
Yeah.
But it would. Get those Nikes out of there.
Yeah. But they have all these machines.
Well, you know, when you watch videos from Japan, you never see any trash laying around.
No, you don't. They're taught. I've been watching some of that, and they're taught from day one to clean. You know, they have to clean up.
It is a clean place.
It is a neat place. I'd like to visit. That's one place I'd like to visit. Just to go visit one day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think Japan is neat. It's different.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know, I remember that was a lot of the imports came from Japan at one time, didn't it?
Some things did. You know, now it's mostly from China.
Do you remember when it was like something, like back then, you were like, oh, this came from overseas.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool then.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's.
But our food didn't.
No, our food did not come from overseas. Like even in the 80s, not as much as it does now. It's really bad.
It's just sad that we
have this huge country. We have this huge American country, and there's foreign countries that own land in America, and they grow food on it. They send it to China to be processed, and then send it back over here. Like it's just crazy.
So the shipping companies can make the money.
I guess so.
And I think it's just. I think the more you look into stuff, the more you realize nearly everything's a scam.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's it's just a scam, and they're pulling one over on us, I think.
Or something.
I mean, really, why? So I can't think of one reason why something should go overseas and be processed and then come back.
I can't either. That's crazy to me.
You know, I mean, and like we've said in the older days, like everywhere you went, or not everywhere you went, but like even in our little city, there were 3 or 4 places that you could take a cow and have it butchered.
Yeah, you said that before.
Did your grandfather ever take one and have it done?
Not that I know of. He didn't.
Were they just pets or what?
His cows that he had, he never sent those to be, not when I was little. He may have when I didn't know nothing about it, but now I know he had pigs, like hogs at one time, and I think they processed those themselves.
Did they?
Yeah, but as far as a cow, when I was little, he just had those as kind of pets.
And then you had where we used to live, that was a dairy farm.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, it was a dairy farm way before the neighborhood was built, but like there were little dairy farms everywhere. And now these huge conglomerates taking over, and now the milk tastes like water.
Now we do have a local in the other town, the other way. There's a dairy farm there, and they sell locally around here, and they have the real milk. Like it tastes like real milk. It don't taste like this watered down stuff. But you know, we like to get that real milk.
Yeah, Joe,
sometimes.
read Joe's comment. I agree with you, Joe.
So why do we export beef to Canada and Mexico while importing beef from South America? It's crazy.
It's crazy. Why?
Yeah, Joe said.
Why can't we take that beef?
Right. Joe said Japan is the vending machine capital of the world.
Yeah.
And it is. Yeah.
All right, and then also there's a lumber yard, a sawmill in town they have some beautiful lumber.
Yeah, but they won't sell it.
They won't sell it locally. They export it.
And it's like they have, I don't know, they've been there for years, but they export all their lumber and they won't sell it locally.
I was told they can't sell it local, but they export it. But then we have to have lumber imported.
Right. Didn't you say
that is a scam?
I know.
I mean,
it is.
It's a scam so the shipping companies can make money. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not going to get political, but I'm just telling you, it's a scam. It makes no sense.
Absolutely no sense.
And I think people need to wake up in our country and realize what's going on here.
But they don't. They're so off in their phones, and you know, we've always kind of lived a small town life, but there's a lot of big cities and people that live in these big cities, and they have no idea. They're just clueless.
Well, the people I work with don't have any idea.
Yeah.
They order what do you call that thing? The Uber Eats. What's that other thing?
The Uber.
Where they
the
Uber Eats is a thing.
Oh, it is a thing. I agree. What's the other thing?
Where you call and they bring you the food.
Yeah. I'm getting old too. My brain is gone. What's it called, Joe? We're crazy.
Mama. I forgot where I was going with that anyway.
Yeah. See, you need to go to bed. You're getting old.
No, it is past bedtime, but I mean, they just they put it on the app and order it from where that Uber Eats or whatever, bring it to them, and
charge you more.
They don't care where it comes from. They don't care if it comes from China or whatever.
And Joe agrees that it's crazy that we export more than we import, and we keep it here. We wouldn't even have to import any of it. I mean,
just think how much cheaper it would be.
Yeah.
And how much better for you it would be. They wouldn't have to preserve it that long.
Right.
And it's just unreal. Mama said, what's the question? That thing where you order your food and from a fast food restaurant. I can't think of it. This is embarrassing. I'm not really this out of touch, y'all.
Well, we don't do it.
Uber Eats is one of them, but what's the other one?
It's funny.
Y'all probably think these people are just
we
nuts.
don't do it. We don't order food like that, so we don't know what the name.
I never have done.
Yeah.
And I've never actually DoorDash.
DoorDash. That's what it is. So DoorDash. Look,
that's bad. My mom's more in touch
I
than I am.
witnessed something really bad about DoorDash one time.
Don't slam them on.
Well, it just, I don't know. I don't trust them at all.
Yeah.
I'd rather go pick up my food if I'm eating out.
Yeah, so. I mean, yeah, I'll just drive down and get something. But they do. I mean, we've got this society, they don't think twice about where the food comes from.
No,
And
they don't. They don't care.
You know, and I even think a lot of these health foods are not truly healthy. They're healthier than what you know, the fast food fried stuff, but they, like a lot of them, they're just not healthy.
You know, and you know, a lot of people take these vitamins and stuff. You know, like supplements.
Flintstones.
Well, not just that. It's like a lot of
I could eat a whole jar of Flintstones. By the way,
it's protein supplements. Like,
did you have Flintstones?
I did have Flintstones. But yeah, they have these supplements, like protein supplements, and you know, you have to wonder really what's in that.
Yeah,
know?
I wonder, are those, you know, those aren't made here, are they?
I don't know. I don't think a lot of them are. I'm not sure, but you know, those can't be healthy for you either.
Yeah. And I mean, even our pharmaceuticals aren't made here. I don't think, are they? Aren't they a lot of them made overseas?
I think they are. You know, it's
like, what's
just
to stop those people from?
Scott's mom says.
My mother said, "Eat right, and you won't need any vitamins." That is totally true.
That is totally true.
A friend of mine, he was a little overweight. He was about like me, and he got rid of one of his stressful jobs.
Yeah.
And then he started exercising every day and eating healthy, and he's like no longer diabetic. I think, and this is just my opinion, this is not medical advice, but you know, I got to put the disclaimer, see your own doctor, but the doctors in some of the doctors in our society, that's their first thing is, here, take this pill. Right. Which, and not instead, grow you a garden and eat healthy food, and then those problems will more than likely go away. Right. A friend of mine, the one that owns the company, he's had a lot of medical trouble lately, and I don't know if it was a heart doctor or what, his doctor said most of your problems can be cured by losing weight. Really? And eating healthy. Okay. And you know, that's something I'm working on. You know, I got to work harder on it, but I think most of our issues can be taken care of by, if we, you know, exercise, and you don't have to do Planet Fitness. It's fine if you do it. That's no problem. I mean, that's good if that's what it takes to get you going. But I lost a lot of weight several years ago by simply walking and watching what I eat. That's just simple. Yeah, and I think you went I've gained it back, and I am working on that. You went to like was it the soccer complex or I went to that. Baseball. The baseball complex. There's a lake that's got a dam that's actually a little over a mile, and I would walk 2 miles a day, no matter what the weather was. Yeah. It would be freezing cold out there. Yeah. But I would walk anyway, and the problem is, you get older, you don't have that motivation. No, but you don't. I am trying. Yeah. You know, but the doctor actually said most of the problems would be of his would go away if he lost weight. Yeah. And he's not terribly overweight. I mean, just a little bit, but if he ate healthy. And I think we need more natural medicines. And I'm talking about food. Food. Yeah, I agree. And then there's also herbs and stuff that naturally help. You know, there's a homesteading channel that we watch where the lady has they talk about the herbs and the natural things that you can take and do, you know, even if you're just sick with a cold, you know, that you can take, and, you know, maybe we need to look into that more, the natural things. And there are some things that are life-threatening that I think you need to see a doctor on. Yeah, not everything, but there are natural things that you can take that helps you far better than one of these manufactured pills, you know. Yeah. Even if you've got a cold and, you know, eating the chicken noodle soup. I mean, they do say that chicken noodle soup is really good for you, you know, when you have a cold or when you're sick. You know, that's how we cured everything back then. You got the flu,
You ate
just
chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I agree.
That, it wasn't, I mean, I guess there was some kind of medicine, but we took, but chicken noodle soup, and, it made you feel better.
It did.
It don't me now, but it did then, but we didn't have as many medicines back then. The other thing we had, our older people would know, methylate.
Yeah, methylate for your cuts.
Yeah, you didn't tell Mom you got a cut because that stuff burnt.
Yeah.
It was red for a reason.
So when I was little, the dog bit me on the lip, and I had a really bad place. Probably should have went to the doctor, but Mama didn't take me. And she would get that methylate, and it was a little bottle. It was a glass bottle, and it had this little
It had a big X on it.
Yeah.
Like the poison.
It had a little
symbol.
dropper thing that went down in it, and you would take that out and you would just smear it on whatever sore you had, and it burnt really, really bad. So I remember being little, and my mama, that dog bit me, and she would have to chase me down to put the methylate on my lip where he had bitten me. And she did, but I do remember the methylate.
Now, going back another generation, two generations, your grandfather, I remember he told me several of the remedies they used to do. My mother said she loved the smell of it. Mom, I could tell you love the smell of it because it burned.
It did burn.
But anyway, your grandfather told me, there was one time, was it when he got bit by a snake?
He got bit by a snake, and they didn't, they were out in the country. They didn't really take him to the doctor. They gave him grease.
Because at that day and time out here, they didn't have a car, I'm sure.
I'm sure they had horses.
Yeah, horses. They gave him grease and made him throw it up.
Yeah, they made him throw it up. And he lived, he was a little boy. He was about 12. And
right.
I think it was maybe a cottonmouth, or I don't remember what type of snake it was, but it was a poisonous snake. And it bit him on the leg, and they, he survived, but they did give him grease. They made him throw up. And
could you imagine, though, today that happening? Would you take the chance and do that to your child?
I don't think so.
No, we would.
We
take
wouldn't.
Them to the ER.
We'd take them to the ER.
And which is what you should do in this modern day. But back then, and then there was something that happened. He said that they put meat on his chest or something. Do you remember that?
Well, they would make they would do all kinds of stuff back then. They'd take like onions and stuff.
But that
and put
wasn't
it on.
a snake bite, was it?
No,
it was something
when
else.
you got sick, they would make things and use onions and meat and different things to put on your chest to bring out your cold, or if you were real congested or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they would do that.
They didn't do the blood, what is it called, bloodletting?
That was back, yes, I have, but that was
Washington.
that was way back in the 1700s.
That stopped at Washington, didn't it?
Yeah, and did you know that before the Civil War, they didn't understand cleanliness of instruments and stuff? Like during the Civil War, when they had to operate on people, a lot of them died not from the wounds, but from gangrene. They would get sick from that. So, the cleanliness, even back then, it wasn't it wasn't what it needed to be, and they didn't learn about that till during the Civil War and after.
That wasn't until well after the Civil War, wasn't
well,
it?
it was that. I think it was towards the end or something. They had a revelation. Let's clean stuff up, and people won't get as sick. I don't know the full history of that, but I do know that's why a lot of the people died. Not just from the wounds, but it was because they got gangrene.
And the way, I'm not going to get the details, but the way they would amputate was just, you didn't have any anesthesia.
Right.
It was just, could you imagine?
I couldn't imagine.
The things that people went through back then was just, gosh. Didn't they give them some whiskey and stuff?
Yeah, they'd give them whiskey and that kind of stuff, but, they didn't have no pills. But just saying, I know that we need modern medicine like we have it now, for cleanliness and stuff. But, if we would eat right and eat better, the foods would
I don't. You wouldn't need as much modern
No,
medicine.
you wouldn't need as much
you know,
modern medicine.
And they probably know that.
Yeah.
And I think the pharmaceutical companies know that. They don't want you healthy,
Yeah,
obviously.
obviously.
But you know, I think that.
I think maybe it's gone too far. I mean, there was a time where it got to a place where, yeah, we needed this medicines and there were certain medicines, but now it's gone beyond where it should be, where it's abused. You know, the medicines that we take that we don't really need, and the supplements and the vitamins and that kind of stuff.
Well,
I think it's gone further than it needs to go.
They're also so available for people to get addicted to too.
That,
you know?
and
I mean,
you know, we have people that are on drugs and stuff, and they get addicted to the prescription medicines. You know, it's not good.
But they
for
get
them.
addicted to. If it wasn't there, they'd get addicted to
They would.
other medicines.
Yeah.
I mean, other drugs. So
Yeah.
you know, it's you know, but I do think it's gone too far, because you know they make so much off of us.
Yeah.
They make a lot of money off of us being unhealthy, and
Right.
that's the root of the whole thing.
Our fire's
is
done.
to get out of that system so they don't make money off of you.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I think that's a lot out there that we don't know about.
I think so too.
But
All right.
our fire's done, so
I guess it's time to go in. It is getting cooler. What temperature
we
is
want to
it?
thank everybody that stayed with us.
Thank you for staying with us and supporting us and chatting with us.
And we enjoyed it. Joe, thanks for chatting. Hope other people will chat next time. And you know, but hope everybody, as we end the week, hope it works out for everybody.
Yeah,
So,
and you'll get those raised garden beds done.
and
this
we're going to
weekend.
have some warmer weather soon.
Yeah.
It may not be tomorrow, but it's going to be soon. So
It'll be next week.
I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for joining us.